Hey everyone, it's Jessica and I'm back with another video for 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, with this sketch today for day 17, which is by Christine Harden, and her Instagram handle is there on the screen at the bottom. And I'm going to scrapbook some very colorful photos today. So back a couple months ago, my family and I visited the Crayola Experience factory place out near Philadelphia, PA. We live in Pennsylvania, so it wasn't too far, but we did do an overnight trip and we stayed overnight. So I've got some very bright and colorful photos to scrap from the Crayola factory. And I'll be honest, you guys know how my scrappy style is. I like grunge, I like darker colors, I like kind of the natural tones or fall colors or blues and yellows. Those are typically my thing, which I'm using here. As you can see, I'm pulling in some papers by Vicki Boutin's Color Study collection, and I've pulled out a couple of the pattern pieces of paper that have blues and yellows on them. I'm just cutting sections out of these to kind of use as a border on my paper. So I'm cutting some kind of wonky triangles for two sides of my page for both of these pattern papers, because honestly, I wanted to use them both. I couldn't decide on which one to use for the whole background, and I was going to use one of these pages as my background. But then I thought, you know what? I'll use them both, and I'll just put a white piece of paper as my background, and we'll do lots of stamping. So this is not my typical kind of layout. I do often like circle kind of photos, but bright and colorful is not my thing. So this was a different one for me to do with these very colorful and bright photos. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a lot of stamping on this to make it mine. The stamping is definitely something that I love to do all the time, and I love to incorporate stamps in my layouts. So I thought this would be a perfect way. So I've pulled out some distress inks and some distress oxides. The first one I used there was Villainous Potion ink, and I used the Background Elements stamp set by Close to My Heart, and I just stamped that in that purple one, and then the orange one is Crackling Campfire oxide. And then I'm pulling out some of these really big embellishments from Vicki Boutin's collection, Color Study, and I'm going to use some of these on my page. I'm just going to kind of like tuck them behind my photo. I thought this would be a really great way to use some of these color wheels, because I have never really used very many. I think I've done one layout maybe with them on, and I think I cut most of them out of the vellum sheet that has them on. So I thought this would be a perfect way to incorporate all of these color wheels on my page because of this circle type of design. So now I'm pulling out some mustard seed distress oxide, and I'm going to use the Perfectly Imperfect Patterns stamp set, which is also by Close to My Heart. And I'm just going to focus on this yellow, or making this yellow kind of splotch here. This is one of the round stamps in the set. It's just kind of supposed to look like a yellow or a watercolor kind of background. And I just love the way that it looks on here. It keeps with my circle kind of feel for this page, following that sketch once again, and it just adds something a little bit extra with the stamping in there. So I'm also pulling out one of my favorite stamp sets, which is by Heidi Swapp, and this is the Fireworks one that I use on a lot of layouts. You've seen me use it before, I'm sure. And I love adding these fireworks stamps to my layouts. I think they're just so cute, and it really adds some usage to your stamp sets to be able to use them for other things other than just what they're intended to, like this one for 4th of July. So now I'm just pulling out some distress oxide in some black soot, and I think I need to get a re-inker for this one because mine's looking pretty sad here, but I don't mind it because I kind of like the way that it turns out, because I didn't really need it to be super bold for this. The color is very in your face, so I figured that if the black is a little bit muted, it's really okay. And I finally get to use my Be Colorful title from the sticker sheet. I've been holding on to that one for quite a long time because I just haven't had a use for it. So I was pretty excited to use that as my title. And then I'm going to add to my title with some Bella Boulevard letters. These are the Bella Florence letters, and I'm just adding a whole bunch of colors. So I'm just mixing and matching them. And I'm just going to write out Crayola Factory here because that's where we were. And these pictures, the one in the middle there on the right, was a big, huge mural that they have on their wall as soon as you walk in. When you're walking down the street, actually it takes up the whole street. And a lady that works there actually stopped and asked if we wanted our picture by it, because I was trying to take my husband's picture and one of our kids, and she said, would you like me to take your picture? So she got us all together and took all of our picture together, which was really, really nice. And I didn't even realize at the time that I was standing right in front of that blue crayon that looks like it's trying to give me a hug. So I think that's super cute, but totally unintended. But you know what? It is something that I would do. If I would have noticed, I probably would have done it on purpose anyways. And then the other photos are from outside on the other place on the other side of the street. They have these giant crayons there, and they're just so cool, and my kids just loved them. And of course, Oliver wanted his picture by the blue one first, so that's the top one there. That's Oliver, and Otto's in the background there, as you can see. He's just kind of hanging out. And I asked Otto which one he wanted to get his picture by, and he chose the other one, so he chose the green, which is usually what they choose. Oliver usually picks blue, and Otto usually picks green. So they stuck with their typical favorite colors there. So I'm just adding just little bits to this. I'm using some Thermoweb adhesive squares here for just popping up this crayon. And I have used some little chipboard bits on here. I'm adding all of these cute Elle Studio stars. They're acrylic. And I'm just going to adhere them down with some Nuvo liquid adhesive, which it'll dry clear. It looks white when I put it on here, as you'll see, but then it does dry clear underneath, so you won't see that in the end. And this is just a great layout to use these stars, because I ordered them so long ago and I've never used them. I just don't do color that often, and I love the stars. I love color, but it's just not my thing. So I usually stick to kind of my tried and true colors that I love. Not to say that I don't love color, I really do. It's not my thing, like I said. But I really like how this layout comes together. So I just add a couple little bits here, just from the sticky sheet, again, from Color Study collection, and then just kind of pulling things off of the sticker sheets. This is the little sticker book that comes in the collection. And I was surprised that this sticker sheet is completely full whenever I started, because I've obviously never really used it. And I'm glad that I get to use it some today. So yeah, so just pulling that out, using up little bits from the other sticker sheets. I'm kind of just throwing anything on here that's circular in design, and I'm popping that one up on the bottom because it's kind of popped up from that chipboard. So I wanted to make sure it would stick down. And then as you can see, I've stamped my date stamp up at the top right, and then here I am stamping some of these little stitched X's from that background element stamp set again. So this one's a super easy layout, but it's just a good way to use your stamps, which is, again, something that I absolutely love to do on my layouts. And then here I am just going to stick down all of those little stars. Remember that it does go on white whenever you first use it, but then it does dry clear, so you won't see that underneath. But it's a great liquid glue. Seems to last a really long time for me. It's one of my favorite adhesives right now. I've been using it quite a bit on my layouts, and everything seems to be sticking down very well over time. So here is the finished layout. Again, it's so bright and colorful, but I just love how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I hope you can play along in the group, which I'll link below for you. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.